The episode begins with chaos in the city as an airstrike rains down from above, buses are being evacuated, and destruction is everywhere. A girl runs with her mom, but during the escape, her mom hides her under a wooden trapdoor and disappears. The girl screams for her mom, asking where the bomb shelter is. Suddenly, she finds herself transported to another world. Then we are introduced to the main character, a 37-year-old man who lives a very plain life. He's never had a girlfriend and lives in isolation. He's on his way to meet a friend and thinks the friend has brought a girl to propose to. During lunch, they witness a man running with a knife. That man attacks, and the protagonist gets stabbed trying to protect his friend. As he lies dying, he gives his friend his last wish to destroy his hard drive. Suddenly, an unknown voice says, "Self-regeneration and healing activated." His body dissolves, and he is reincarnated as a slime. He realizes he can absorb things and mimic properties. After gaining healing powers from plants, he meets a powerful dragon named Veldora who's been trapped for 300 years. They bond, and the slime, now named Rimuru, offers friendship, marking the beginning of his new life. The episode begins with Rimuru and Veldora continuing their conversation inside the cave. Rimuru, now friends with the dragon, says it doesn't feel right that his only friend has been sealed for 300 years. Veldora makes a dramatic face, and Rimuru jokes, telling him not to act cute because he's a dragon. Rimuru asks what will happen to him, and Veldora says that in 100 more years, his magic will vanish and he'll simply die. Rimuru comes up with a plan to absorb Veldora into his body, using his predator skill to break the seal from within. Veldora is surprised and agrees, but only after they name each other. Rimuru chooses the family name Tempest and gives it to Veldora, while Veldora names Rimuru as Rimuru Tempest. With that, Rimuru absorbs him. Elsewhere, the disappearance of Veldora causes panic, but some see it as an opportunity to invade. Meanwhile, Rimuru gains new abilities from absorbing various creatures like snakes, lizards, and bats, each time becoming stronger. Eventually, he exits the cave and encounters frightened goblins. They ask for his help against the dire wolves. Rimuru decides to protect them and is taken to their village, where he learns more about their troubles, ending the episode with a promise to defend them. The episode begins with Rimuru observing the goblins and realizing how weak they are. He worries that if he takes them into battle, defeat is certain. Still, he asks if they're ready, and they all shout that they'll give it their all. Rimuru then visits the injured goblins and is shocked by how badly they're hurt. Using his healing potion, he quickly cures them, leaving the goblins amazed. Outside, direwolves plan to attack, thinking this is the perfect time since Veldora is gone. They approach the goblin village, confident they'll win. But when they attack, they run into Rimuru's web traps, and many fall before reaching him. Rimuru explains he got the web ability from the spider monster and then defeats the wolf leader using Predator. He absorbs the leader's power and turns into a powerful direwolf form. The remaining wolves submit to Rimuru, who becomes their new leader. The next day, Rimuru gives names to all goblins and wolves, which causes them to evolve. Exhausted from using too much magic, Rimuru faints for 3 days. When he wakes up, everyone has changed, becoming stronger and more mature. Rimuru sets 3 rules for the village: no fighting, no harming humans, and protect the weak. The episode ends as Rimuru prepares to travel to the human town for resources. The episode begins with Rimuru riding on Ranga, while the rest of the group travels toward the dwarf kingdom, seeking craftsmen who can help their village. Gobta leads the way as their guide. They cover the distance quickly and stop by a river to rest. Rimuru reflects on the existence of demon lords and heroes, recalling Veldora's words. During a campfire chat, Rimuru asks Ranga why he doesn't take revenge for his father's death. Ranga says he wanted to, but changed his mind because Rimuru showed them mercy and gave them names. As they approach the city, they're amazed. They reached in 3 days instead of the expected 2 months, thanks to their speed. At the city gate, Rimuru and Gobta try to enter discreetly, but are mocked by 2 guards. The guards threaten to sell Rimuru, thinking he's a weak monster. Rimuru calmly warns them to back off, then unleashes his aura, causing panic. Soldiers collapse, flee, or faint. Shocked, the guards report that a slime did all this. Rimuru and Gobta are taken to prison, but an official reviews their story and realizes Rimuru's account matches the report, assuring them they'll be released soon. Suddenly, another soldier rushes in, reporting an injured ally in need of healing potions. Rimuru reveals an entire barrel of potions and explains how to use them. Grateful, the soldiers thank him. Rimuru is then taken to Kaijin, a master blacksmith under pressure to complete a massive sword order. Kaijin is struggling due to lack of materials. Rimuru gives him rare magical crystals, shocking everyone. Kaijin agrees to help and quickly forges the swords using Rimuru's materials. Later, to celebrate, they visit a club where Rimuru is hugged by an elf hostess, enjoying the party with everyone else. The episode ends on a joyful note. The episode begins with Kaijin drinking and Rimuru praising him for crafting high-quality swords in seconds, unlike the dwarves in the Royal Forge who took a week to make one. Kaijin humbly says all he did was replicate a perfect sample using Rimuru's magical crystals. They all laugh, and Rimuru jokes he can't taste drinks but won't mind holding one served by a beautiful lady. Meanwhile, Gobta is still tied up and sleeping. The elves offer Rimuru a chance to meet his destined partner using a magical drink that reveals his future. In the vision, Rimuru sees a silhouette of a girl with Japanese features, which excites him. Suddenly, Minister Vesta arrives and confronts Kaijin, furious that the swords were delivered without his approval. He insults Rimuru, calling him a low-level slime and throws wine on him. Kaijin, enraged, punches Vesta in the face. They all end up in jail. There, Kaijin tells Rimuru that Vesta once ruined his career by blaming him for a lab explosion. Kaijin says he'll follow Rimuru now. The next day, they are brought before the king. Vesta lies, claiming he was attacked without reason, but the king listens to Kaijin, who defends Rimuru and rejects the offer to return to his old position. Kaijin says he has a new master now, Rimuru. The king respects his decision, but exiles all of them from the kingdom. As they leave, Vesta is shocked to learn that the potion Rimuru provided was a perfect 100% healing potion, something previously believed impossible. Tearfully, Vesta begs forgiveness, but it's too late. He loses his position. The episode ends with Rimuru and Kaijin's group leaving the kingdom as friends, ready to build a new future in Rimuru's village, where everyone awaits their return.